It's the BBP TV show since 2012, where amazing guests share their digital adventures. Who will we meet today? Small biz influencer, up-and-coming trendsetter, accomplished author? You never know who'll be dropping by. And now, here's your host, Elaine Lindsay, the bionic glamourpreneur with True social media, who's the second most curious person on the planet.
Hello. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. I have a very special show today. First off, I have Judy Croon. She's Canada's keynote humorist, a TEDx motivational speaker, comedian, and stand-up coach at Second City. She's worked with many celebrities, including John Cleese, Jon Stewart, and Joan Rivers. Her specials have appeared on NBC, CBS, CTV, and the Comedy Network. She's the co-author of From the Stage to the Page, Life Lessons from Four Funny Ladies. Judy draws from her stand-up performance and coaching experience to entertain, inform, and inspire in her dynamic keynote entitled Relieving Work-Related Stress with Humor. Judy's the creator and host of Laugh Lines and Stand Up for the Girls, which have both helped raise over $650,000 for breast cancer research. Now that's not all. For you today, we also have Anna Gustafson. She's been a fixture in the Canadian comedy community for over 2 decades, appearing at Just for Laughs in Montreal, LOL on CBC, and CBC's The Debaters, just to name a few. In addition to being a touring professional stand-up comedian, Anna is an accomplished writer, public speaker, and moderator. She co-produced 2 Canadian comedy festivals. She's the head of the Firecracker Comedy Department and is the comedian in residence at Gilda's Club Toronto. Originally, she's from a tiny fishing village community called Lund in British Columbia, and she now makes her home in the West End of Toronto. Rounding it out and making it a trio of funny, we have Lisa Gay Tremblay. She's been making audiences laugh for over 25 years. Her first television appearance as a kid was on the Uncle Willie and Floyd show here in Ottawa, which is her hometown. She moved to Toronto and performed for Yuck Yucks and toured all over Canada. She wrote and starred in 2 CBC television sketch and stand-up comedy shows. She toured for the Troops and hosted morning television shows. She was, in fact, the first Canadian woman to perform at the Just for Laughs festival. She performed with Rosie O'Donnell in a VH1 stand-up spotlight. She's opened for such comedy legends as Jerry Seinfeld and Rodney Dangerfield. In Los Angeles, success in television for her started with Boy Meets World, and then she made numerous appearances on Fox, Showtime, A&E, and other networks and cable channels. I am so thrilled to have them all with me today. So we're going to go round the room and have everybody let us know what they find most important in their lives today. I'm having a hard time keeping a straight face because I so want your hat. Let's start with Lisa Gay.
Hello, how are you? I'm practicing safe distancing. And I not just here, but when I'm outside, when I'm having sex with my husband, this is keep everybody safe. And I make him wear a giant condom over his entire body. And he has to be in another room, but that's
beside the fact.
Hello.
I did say it was going to be a different show today.
I'm taking this thing off because I need it for the salad later. Hello. Oh, it's hot in that thing.
I was just going to say, you must have been boiling under there.
I was boiling under there. It's
All
nice
right.
to see you. It's nice to see my friends. I miss my friends.
Yeah.
How is Los Angeles?
Los Angeles is a little crazy. There's no traffic there's no traffic. I had to go to a specialty vet to get dog food the other day, which is maybe 7 or 8 miles away, and it usually takes me an hour to get there because of the traffic on the 405. I was there in 10 minutes. It was crazy. There's no traffic.
Yeah. Weird.
But you got to line up. You don't line up in the freeway, but you line up at the grocery store. So there you go.
Yeah.
Your choice. They still want you to line up.
Yeah,
All about
6 feet
control.
apart.
And then, every TV station you turn on, the orange guy shows up somehow or another. And, I just want to watch Judge Judy. I don't care.
You don't care about breaking news, Lisa, for Pete's sakes?
No, I don't. Not any. Everybody just stay
Propaganda.
home.
Have you guys noticed the uptick in people being impatient in traffic? I was out, not that there's traffic, but when you're out driving, there's no reason to be impatient. And maybe it's so apparent now because it's like, a poppy in the field, daisies. It's like one guy, he still has the rage, but he has no one to rage out on.
Yeah, you're right.
They come around you and pass you and it's all kinds of crazy traffic. I don't know. I just found that very strange.
No, you're totally right.
We're seeing it
The
in
story
the
this
park.
morning on the news was the cops are handing out all kinds of speeding tickets because the freeways are wide open and the cops are making some money.
Yep,
For sure.
Well, hey, you got to get it somewhere.
Yeah.
new revenue stream for the government.
Yeah. Hey, you got to pivot in this economy and figure out a way to still bring in money. So, kudos for creativity, shall we say?
I wonder if they feel bad about giving out a ticket for just standing there because they can. What's my ticket?
But that's their rage outlet.
Yeah,
They don't have to drive around people. They can just give people tickets, get the angst out that way.
You don't pay your ticket, you get thrown in jail. What are you in for? Murder. What are you in for? Standing too close to my friend.
Do you guys have to wear these in Canada? Here we have to wear them if we're outside.
We should, but I would say it was 50-50 at the grocery store at 7 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, it's not mandated yet, but
Oh, it's mandated here. And some people still don't do it, but it is mandated here.
I have a question for Lisa Gay. Have you seen the what is it, the clover leaf on the turnpike? I heard last week from someone else that there's so little smog now. They actually saw the whole clover leaf and there was grass down there.
Whoa.
Well, they said that was on the news again today about the air quality here is so much better than it typically is. However, it's a bit of a lie because typically this time of year our air is pretty clean. Like the spring is when after the rain and that it tends to be cleaner. So it's probably a combination of both, but I think it's right now the smog emissions here. Judy's lived in LA. You've got to have your car smogged. Nobody's getting emissions out there. So I think it's more seasonal than anything, but it makes for a good news story because you can only talk about the coronavirus so much.
That's true. That's true. So Judy, from your perspective, okay, pandemic, COVID-19, or not COVID-1, it's number 19 now. What's one thing you can say, when you're getting to that point, because people are so fearful, people are so wrapped up in watching CNN and listening.
Oh, me?
Yeah, watching you go on and on.
Yeah.
It's that kicker tape. It's like the stock market. Now we've lost this many and that many. Yeah. What's something people can do instead of making their fears worse, making themselves a little crazy by watching this stuff?
I'd have to say that all joking aside, so of course the first couple of days I was glued to the TV like everybody else with newscasts, whatever. But I find that routine really helps, trying to find some routine in the day, being a little bit easier on yourself. Like this is a new normal, and adjusting to that new normal, I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. But then stepping outside of the CNN, I'm starting to get some relief again, watching Netflix, going back to, I just saw Self-Made with Octavia Spencer. Fantastic. Put that on the list. First, she was the first millionaire in the Guinness World Book of Records, first millionaire. That's fantastic. The Valhalla Murders, if you're looking for a creepy Icelandic detective series.
Ooh.
I'm finally getting back. Oh, there's your people, Anna. Creepy Scandinavians.
Under the pressure of a pandemic, I'm going to watch a murder show.
That's very highbrow stuff you're watching there, Judy. I'm watching 90 Day Fiance. Can't get enough of it. And you're watching intellectual stuff. I'm watching a train wreck with these crazy people.
Hey, whatever works. Whatever gets you through it. Whatever gets you through it. Hey,
There's
and
a correlation there between having sex with that hat on and just asking. 90 Day Fiance, I don't know, maybe watch a little violence.
My husband's always got violence on. Always.
Yeah,
He loves the violent stuff.
Mine too. The gorier, the bloodier,
Yeah.
the better.
I don't get it.
how about you guys? What do you find is what's getting you through the pandemic?
Well, Judy, for this thing today, I actually put makeup on, blow dried the front of my hair and the back of my hair.
Oh, wow.
It was, I have a bra on, so I won't trip. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so that's a plus. That's a plus. What about you, Anna?
I got a new bra. I'm breaking it in. I thought now's a good time. I can take it
Nice.
off whenever I need to.
Excellent.
I did it to, like,
Excellent.
4 yesterday.
Very nice. I will say that maybe on a good note, the
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Duck and cover.
I wasn't wearing my mask. Jeez. You know what? It's funny. Germs like that don't bother me anymore. Like I find my tolerance for other germs has gone way up. You know, I was, for example, cleaning the toilet brush. Toilet water somehow splashed out of the toilet into my mouth. Now, initially, I would have been throwing up, you know, putting my hand up. This time, I'm like, you know what? At least it's not COVID-19. Hey, relax. It's fine.
Juice.
My tolerance has gone way up. So
Well,
that's
that's definitely a bonus.
my positive takeaway.
Are you more comfortable with raw chicken now too?
Salmonella, shamonella. You know, be on the counter for 4 days. I'm licking the package. I don't even care.
Those little things that go in the bottom of a meat package,
Yeah.
but it collects all the meat juice.
Yes.
It's like
No, I'm using it as a filter.
Oh, jeez.
a coffee filter.
That's the new mask. Yeah.
Here. That's because it's the same stuff, right? Botulism.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
Just slap it on your forehead.
Good idea. That's a money maker. We've got some extra time, Anna. You got to work on that.
Yeah, we may have something there. Call Waterloo and see if you can get in on the testing right now.
Well, how are you getting through it, Elaine?
Well, let's face it, I'm bent. I have a very bent sense of humor. And I also, to be honest, Anna's going, yep.
I just love that you said I'm bent too.
Yes, well, it's true.
On her head.
It's true. Let's be honest. But in all seriousness, and we know I don't do that for very long, I have a deep spiritual belief, and I'm part of this world. Mother Nature has basically put baby in the corner because baby was very, very bad. And I think we have to sort of, sit and take our punishment and understand that, well, for things to go on, we have to change. And Judy, you said new normal. Yeah, damn right, it's a new normal. We can't go backwards. We have to go forward with a better respect for what's around us, understanding that, Mother Nature, she gets pissed, and I don't blame her. There's flora, there's fauna, there's things around us that lots of us have never paid attention to. And I'm going to say, I, for one, I'm a boomer. I'm going to be 65 this year. When we were young, We never thought about littering or looking after anything. We were atrocious, absolutely atrocious. And it's, it's now coming home to roost, and we have to really pay attention going forward. And I think what it's shown us is, by and large, there's lots of people who really do care for other people. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And not to get too sappy about it, there's a lot of Egypts out there as well. So,
Oh, for sure. And you do learn a lot of things. Yeah. For example, I learned how to do a high karate kick because the button that you press to change the lights. Well, we're not using our hands anymore.
Judy, you can use your elbow, Judy.
I was carrying some groceries.
Just an elbow.
The button for the door?
The button for the lights.
You're not supposed to be outside anyway. Get in the house.
What are you doing outside? Yeah.
Exactly.
I just call on Google to do the lights for me. And of course, because I said that, now she's not going to interrupt me. But as you well know, Judy, she interrupts me 50 times a day when I say the G word to ask how she can help. Mm-hmm. Well, she and he are all over the house, so they get the lights. They also put on Otmar Liebert for the dog when we do have to go for groceries.
Nice. But I have to say that a lot of people are practicing social distancing, like walking the dog. I notice people cross the street, or everybody gives each other space for the most part. And that will be the new normal for a while,
Well, Judy, the most ridiculous thing I see is people driving alone in their car wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Who are you protecting you from? They got gloves on and a mask, and they're alone in the car.
Yeah, I know.
People are all a little.
Yeah, I have to say, not here, but yesterday in Ireland, 2 different women took their children for walks. And in walking, they came upon some other people. The other people, in both cases, this just blew my mind, told the children to please get on the road so they could pass. I don't think killing off the next generation is how we should be going about this.
Go play in traffic, it's safer.
Yeah.
Right? The millennials, we could get rid of them, but that's about it.
I've been seeing in my neighborhood a lot, the kids leave their hockey nets out and their sticks and their balls and their bikes. Everything's just left out in the yard because that's what they do all day. They go out and play hockey in the road, and so they don't pack it up every night because it's not going to get run over because there's no cars.
Right.
You go for a walk, and it's just there's stuff everywhere. Basketball hoops are out in the road.
Well, the American thing right now is gun shops. Do they need to be open? Is it considered essential to have the gun shops open? I'm not kidding. This was a big debate last night, and our governor said no, but the amendment people saying yes, the gun shops need to be open.
Well, and the WWE had to go on in Florida.
Right. Right.
Each to his own, I guess. Each little area will probably have something that to us seems really bizarre. But, in the case of the gun shops, I'm not big on guns. I think, military, they should have handguns. Nobody else needs a handgun. You can get a rifle or whatever if you have a farm or you go out and hunt. But the rest of it, not my thing. But when it comes to WWE, it's their tourist industry, and it brings in a lot of dollars to the state. So that's why they've got it as a required essential service.
What is WWE?
Oh, wrestling.
Oh, of course.
Lisa, you gotta take that metal tin off your head and get us every now and then.
It's a little strange around here because my husband is a physician, and when he comes home, he's been at the hospital all day full of hospital germs.
Yeah.
So I make him, he has his own bath. He goes to his bathroom and has a shower, and he watches TV in one room, I watch TV in the other room, and I haven't really noticed any difference from the way our marriage typically is. So we've been practicing all these years just for this moment.
You're acing it now.
Living completely separate lives under the same roof. And who knew this was going to be it?
You're not alone.
He was home yesterday, and I thought, why are you home? Don't you have somewhere to go? Like, no, he was there. I'm like,
How's he doing in all this?
Hey, your governor in California is doing a great job, though. Newsom is amazing.
Yeah.
he reminds me of Ted Baxter. He's like the talking head from the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Yeah, he does have a bit of a Ted Baxter look.
It's like a robot.
Are Californians, do they like him, or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, our mayor, we call him Mayor Yoga Pants, Garcetti is a moron too. And so, I mean, every time I turn on the TV, I got the orange guy, Mayor Yoga Pants, or I got the Ted Baxter. I'm like, I just put on 90 Day Fiancé. That's all I want to see. That's all I want. And did you watch the tiger thing with the tigers and the?
No,
I couldn't.
Oh, it wasn't that bad for animals. It was just I couldn't write anything that funny.
Mm-hmm.
Watching, I could not write anything. Whoever this was, you have to see it, Judy. It will make you spend the whole time watching, going, "Am I being punked?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it real or
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that people exist like that.
I know.
Yeah.
They have no teeth.
I couldn't watch
real,
it.
or is it a comedy?
What's that?
Are they real people or is it a comedy?
No, it's a documentary, and it's real. But they're hysterical. I mean, they're from the South, and the guy's gay. A gay guy in the South, which alone that he's out in the South is, his hair's bleach blonde. I don't think he has all his teeth. He's got a mullet. He ran for president in like a sparkly jumpsuit. I mean, I couldn't write this.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's
it
really
has
fun.
tigers, right?
He has tigers, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And he's several husbands.
Who's the lady that everybody talks about? I googled something. Somebody responded to me on Twitter with something, and I googled it.
Oh yeah, Carol.
He's a cat
Carol
lady.
Baker something, right? Or something Baker.
Carol
Yeah,
Baskin.
What did she do?
Well, she's got a legitimate cat sanctuary, so she's been up against this guy was up against this guy for many years because he's profiting off of selling these cubs and whatever. So it's always been a battle between the two of them.
Yeah.
But that's not the story of this. You have to watch it. Is his personal story and just how nuts he is. He's crazy. I mean,
he is.
And the outfits alone, wardrobe. I mean, fantastic.
Yeah, we just saw a trailer, and it was like, what is this? What exactly is this?
No, it's this cover of this week's People magazine too. I have it somewhere. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, are you still cycling? Are you still soul cycling on your bicycle?
Soul cycling.
Like, don't you teach?
I teach at a different gym. We kind of turn our noses up at soul cycling.
Well, you know what? I'm spinning.
Yeah, no. I've been laid off from that job.
Oh.
But you have a bike at home you're working out on?
Not a spin bike. I've got my road bike, and it's on a trainer. So you ride in the garage, and the back wheel just goes around and around. Then you think about your career.
And the season must be kind of boring.
I play good music. My goal is to play music that the neighbors ask about. What are we playing?
Can you do anybody else exercising?
What?
I'm just walking the dog, but I'm just curious, Anna, can you do it virtually? Can you set up I do know some exercise people that are doing it from their homes, and they still have their class, and they're just doing it virtually.
I think my job is becoming obsolete because of
The P place?
Yeah, whatever those
with the TV on the bike?
Mm-hmm.
And she'd have to put clothes on too if she did that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Very
You're very chafing riding your bike naked, I would think.
Well, I don't know. You get naked and afraid that show. They run around in the wilderness, so how bad could it be to be on a bike?
Lady parts. Lady parts.
I go, yeah.
Lady parts.
Lady parts running through underbrush. Never mind. Never mind.
But you know what? I mean, all joking aside, I think routine is really important. And I think, Anna, obviously you've got the cycling, and I mean, I walk the dog. I think, Lisa, you probably walk your brood as well. You've got 3 dogs now, right?
No, 2 dogs and a cat.
Oh, okay. Right.
The dogs are horse-sized.
You got to get it out of your system, right?
I'm scrapbooking. I am the scrapbook queen.
Oh, cool.
I have boxes and boxes of photos, literally from 25 years. And I've got them all in file cabinets, like all little file things, and I'm putting them in books. And at the beginning, I was careful, you know, I put like cute little things with them. Now I'm just putting glue and in it goes. Get them done, get them out of there. And, you know, the sad part about all this, nobody's ever going to look at them, because I told my daughter I had the last 10 years of her life, I have nothing. I had to actually go on my phone and order photos through Costco because I never print photos anymore. So, you know, it's like she died at 15. I have nothing from her. So I just ordered some stuff, and I'm putting them in scrapbooks because I'm 100.
It's funny because it's you're talking about scrapbooking, but I'm just thinking, you know, Marie Kondo is one of those things I always put off, because I thought, well, when I have more time, I'll Marie Kondo the living room or Marie Kondo my office, which is why you're seeing the CNN logo, not my office. But the point is, you know, it doesn't matter how much time you have. There's certain things you're still not going to do. I'm never going to get around to Marie Kondo, and I'm not going to get around to doing my taxes until the absolute last minute.
Well, I cleaned the fridge out yesterday, and it's spotless, and I actually lined the yogurts up by flavor alphabetically in the drawer. So, a little OCD. It looks great.
Well, Marie Kondo only came as far as the pharmaceuticals around here. As I know, Judy, you saw the big bag of pills. We were told you could take your old drugs to your drugstore and they'll dispose of them. So after, good Lord, I think I've been hoarding them since 1976. So all these, we had literally a bag that was 2 feet by about 1.5 feet wide, full of everything you can think of. And we take it to the drugstore, and the woman behind the counter, 6 feet away, because I'm, of course, physical distancing, says, "Oh, no, we can't take that. No, you got to go home and put them in plastic Ziploc bags." And I'm thinking, I got to go buy 5 packages of Ziploc bags to get rid of these. We got home, and the hubby, who can be a lot brighter than me at times, just went, "No, just give me 1 big bag. They're all going in there." So it's a lovely cornucopia of color. There's all kinds of fascinating things in there, and we trotted them back, stood in line, mind you, to get in there to give them our garbage.
So do you take just the pills, or do you take the containers?
Nope, just the pills.
Well, I thought they wanted the containers back.
Well, that's what I thought. That's why I took everything in the first place. But nope, they just want the pills in a Ziploc bag.
My partner's dad was a surgeon, and we've still got I shouldn't be laughing. He died when Peter was 18. So and we've still got stuff with his name on it. Just it's kind of sentimental, but it's also because it's like, it's fine. It doesn't expire.
I understand the sentimentality. I kept the steri strips, and
you guys could sell that stuff in the corner, make some dough, you know.
You have no idea how often that went through my head as I packaged some of that up.
Especially the painkillers; those are always popular.
Yeah. There had to be at $10 a pop. There had to be a few thousand in there in morphine. So,
oh my gosh.
But hey,
I'm just getting a feed from my CNN audio tech here. He's saying that Miss Anna Gustafson's volume is a little bit low.
Oh, that's why you guys can't hear me.
Yes.
There we go.
Maybe because I'm way far away.
There we go. You got to put on your CNN breaking news voice on.
I was just being really polite. Because I'm deaf as a door now.
Ever had anyone ever tell me that? ever.
Your volume?
Volume's a little low.
Well, you know, when you work for CNN all these years, it's just it's a given.
I'm just missing your ticker tape at the
Yeah,
bottom.
exactly. Yeah, it'll be my stocks that have plummeted 500%.
You know, the funniest part about doing all these scrapbooks, I have pictures of me from 20, 25 years ago, and all those years I thought I was fat. And I look at them now and go, what the hell was I thinking? I wasn't fat. I wasted all those good years thinking I was fat. Now that I am fat, I'm hoping like when I'm 80, I'll look back and go, you weren't fat. So I'm just trying to stop with the whole fat thing.
Well, it's like when someone complains about a birthday number and they go, oh, I'm turning blah, blah, blah. I go, you know what? This is the youngest you're ever going to be.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
I don't understand women, like lots of women won't tell you, they would never tell you their age. And to me, like I never understood that. I'll be 65 this year. It's like, it's a fact. Hiding it doesn't change it. Just count the wrinkles on my face. You're going to know.
If you slice your boob, you can count the rings. Like a tree.
Well, they've already sliced it, so that may not work anymore.
Marks.
Well, you could say that, Elaine, because you do not look 65. I'm shocked.
No, she doesn't. Judy can't see though because she's 82 and the glasses need to be replaced.
Well, no, it's a long way up from me.
I think we're all about the same age. Well, not Anna. Anna's what, 22, 3?
A child, and she's Scandinavian, so that's like take off another 20 years.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm trying to think how old I am.
No wrinkles at all.
I'm 54.
Are you
I'm
really?
60.
Wow. You all look fabulous.
Thank you.
You know what? It is an attitude. It's definitely an attitude because I know people who obsess about the number in a bad way, you know, and they have more problems than people who don't obsess about their age. And you go, yeah, you know what? You look like you're 47. You look like you're 62.
Yeah.
You look like you're, you know, so it's the youngest you're ever going to be. We're all going to die.
I like that one. And the fact is, you know, Judy, you know, I have a 12-year-old mind. So it's, the actual age of my meat suit is kind of irrelevant.
I never worry about how old I am, ever.
The only
My grandmother died. She wouldn't tell anybody how old she was. They're writing the obituary. It was like everybody scratching their head. How old was she? I don't know. I thought she was 84.
Oh.
No, I think she was 82. No, I think according to her, she was 57.
Hey, I have a question for the, sorry, Anna, you were going to say something there. But I want to ask you, Anna, because as comedians, who's making you laugh? Who's somebody that you have watched that you didn't get to catch up on their stuff before, or any good, any documentaries or any comedy specials?
So here's me in a nutshell. I like to save things for special. And this is from growing up in a very rural town. Mm-hmm. So going to town and getting a thing was really special. So you would hoard your special things. That's just how I was brought up. So I'm just watching now Mrs. Maisel, the Mrs. Maisel, because I heard it was so great, and I'm so often disappointed by people that talk about things so great. Oh, it's so great! You got to watch it. And you're like, I want to get that hour and a half back. And I just heard from everybody that this was a wonderful show, and they were correct. But I just watched it, so I had that to watch during this horrible time. And I haven't watched Fleabag yet either. So those are like the two that I heard the most about this year. So I saved them. Now I'm just like,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Right?
I feel so lucky because everybody that I've told that is like, oh my God, you're so lucky. You get to see it for the first time.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think Fleabag is not for me. I tried watching it and
it didn't work for you.
I just love the backstory of it. That it was a fringe show that this comedian made into this incredible phenomenon that everybody talks about.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's just, you know, I tend to be a little prudish. So for me, the first one was like, yeah, no, that's a little much.
Oh, come on, sex with a priest. It's everybody's fantasy.
Oh dear God, you are hurting my Catholic roots, even though I'm recovered.
Now, I heard that actress is also, and that writer is also the person behind Killing Eve. Am I wrong about that?
Waller-Bridge.
I don't know.
Ask your Google, Elaine.
Yeah. Yeah, Elaine, ask Google.
Okay, Google. Is the actress... Hello. Hello. Why is it every time I don't want her to talk? Okay, Google. Why is the actress, or is the actress from Fleabag the one who wrote about
Killing Eve. Killing Eve.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
TV, whatever.
Too many names, sort of like Lisa Gay Tremblay. Way too many names.
It says Phoebe Waller-Bridge is an actress. She wrote and starred in the Channel 4 comedy drama Crashing, BBC tragicomic Fleabag, and she was also the showrunner and executive producer for the first series of Killing Eve.
Oh, there you go. Look at my clever friends.
1.77 meters tall. She's 34.
She's 34?
Her birthday's July 14th, 1985.
Oh, my shoe's older than her.
Yeah, forget what I said.
So do I.
Now I'm depressed about my age.
That's what I wanted to ask. Was there ever a birthday that you hit and kind of went, oh, damn.
17, and I was allowed to leave town. It's like, get a car. I'm serious. I was so excited. Get out of my hometown.
So that was a good thing. Like turning 17 was a good thing, right? That was a good, move for you. Yeah. You know what? That's funny that you say that, because I got in my car and I left town. I left Calgary when I turned 21 to do stand-up in the States. I originally drove down to the States when I was 21. And you know what? I don't know if you guys look back at those times now and go, what the hell was I thinking? But I would never let one of my nieces or even my nephews at 21 get in their car or drive down to the States for 3 months by themselves, right? But we just did these weird things, and by the grace of God, we're here.
Oh man.
16, 2 days after my birthday in November, I hitchhiked to Vancouver.
No!
Hitchhiking was so badass.
I was very smart. I took my girlfriend's 2 brothers with me.
Oh, okay.
I left them at the bus station in Sudbury when I was invited to a very cool party. And when I got to Vancouver, I met a marvelous woman, Mary, who was from Laurel Canyon, and another one of my very, very tall friends. And she got me in and got me a job at Gassy Jack's.
Gassy Jack's?
Yep.
What the hell was Gassy Jack's?
Gassy Jack's was a bar in Gastown in Vancouver.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
My brothers.
And during the day, we stood on the corner and sold Georgia Straight. And I did sell a couple of pigeons in Victory Square. I was a good salesperson back then. But I didn't last at Gassy Jack's very long because, one, I looked 12. And there was a murder outside.
What? Hello?
Yeah, there was a murder outside probably the 3rd week we were there. And the police took us to question us, and then, of course, they found out how old I was, and I was not allowed to go back to work.
Whereabouts was Gassy Jack's? Was it by Brothers? Remember Brothers down there? It was like a...
This was 1971. 70.
Because Gassy Jack is the guy. Is the isn't the clock that shoots steam Gassy Jack?
Yeah, near Front Street.
Yeah. I had an office my very first writing job for a TV show was.
Oh, wow. And I worked at the Little Mischief restaurant on Pender for 2 hours.
What's your that's your shortest job ever, I'm assuming?
That's my shortest job ever, yeah. He was a really nice Greek man who had such a heavy accent that every time he said something to me, I said, I beg your pardon, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? And at the 2 hour mark, I just burst into tears and said, I can't do this. I have no idea what you're saying to me. And I left. Yeah. Not,
You guys ever done that? Had like a very short-lived job?
what's your shortest job?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Judy?
Oh, my shortest job.
And today?
Yeah. No kidding. I worked at Canadian Tire. I worked at Canadian Tire when I was living in Calgary, and it was the sports department, and it was always dead, and you were just dusting sports equipment, and I couldn't take it after I think I lasted about 2 weeks. And then I got my dream gig. I actually got to work at a vet's for 3 years. I got to kind of do the front desk and whatever, and that was pretty cool, because I wanted to be a veterinarian, but then of course you guys know the story. My 75% of my fruit flies and 50% of my final mark flew out of my biology class window, and that was the end of that. So Canadian Tire was the shortest lived job that I ever had. And Lisa, you work for the government, right?
I did. I worked for. I had lots of. I worked. My very first job was delivering the Montreal Gazette in the morning before I went to school. Down off Byron, down Woodruff, down by the water, and froze to death because you had to go in the morning, so it was pitch black. And I used to go, and the dog wouldn't go with me because it was so cold in the winter. He just would not go out of the house. It's like, you're nuts. So I did that for a while. I worked at the Dairy Queen. And one of those kind where people just line up outside the window forever and ever. So I did that one summer, and then I worked at Top's Car Wash, which is down on Richmond Road, and I washed inside back windows of the car. So I got in after the wet part. I would jump into the back seat because I was small enough. I could get into the back seat if it was a 2-door car, without having to open the seat, and I would wash the inside back window. And then I'd jump out by the time I get to the blower and jump into the next car behind me. And I did that for a summer, and I got paid $1.50 an hour. And I think a lot of the guys who worked there were ex-cons or whatever, and they were all so nice to me. Whenever the donut truck would show up, somebody would buy me a chocolate milk and a donut at break every day. And I was filthy, if you can imagine, and filthy, filthy, filthy dirty by the end of the day. I was just... So I did that. I was one of them. And then I worked at StatsCan for quite some time. That was the big job with the big money. Ooh. That I quit to go and do stand-up. And when I left, everybody was like, well, you can take a leave of absence, I said, no. Because I was 26 or 7, I think, at the time, and I was counting how many years I could retire with a full pension. I thought, this is not good. This is not good. So I left, and they gave me a suitcase as a going away gift, and I never went back. So I was very lucky. I was able to make a living doing stand-up right away. I never had to have another job.
Yeah, you were headlining. You were headlining at an early age.
Pretty much, and I did college tours and cruise ships, and they were very lucrative, and but I worked at one of like the scrapbooking stuff. I've kept my little remember the little paper things? They were like a mappy thing, like a calendar. I think got one here, but it was even smaller. These things, remember these little daytimer things that look like the little squares?
Yeah.
These guys. So on it, I have every gig I ever did. And then at the top of the month, I would write how much money I made for the month so I could budget. And every weekend was filled in. I told you, the yogurt is alphabetized. So, but I had to know how much money I had coming in so I could pay the rent, so I could, I was very organized.
Very organized. No, it's shocking that you worked at StatsCan. You probably could have had a great career there.
I could have. When I left, I think I was making $37,000 a year, which was a lot of money.
Wow.
30 plus years ago.
For sure.
Yeah. So I never missed it. I mean, I worked with nice people, but literally I was counting how many years before I could retire with a full pension.
You and lots of others.
26.
Anna, what about you?
Shortest job or weirdest?
Both.
Shortest job, I worked in a record store for one day, and I don't think I was 16, and still hadn't been paid. Guy never paid me, but he said, you can listen to one record. You have to pick it, and you can only play that one all day. And he went,
Whoa.
what was it? Some terrible. Oh, Putting on the Ritz guy. Remember that album that was like a did like a 80s version of Putting on the Ritz?
Yeah.
That one. It's
You
terrible.
picked that? You picked that record?
Well, he gave me a couple of options of the new releases. It had that one hit song on it, and the rest was just garbage.
I
Wow.
thought you were way more hip and au courant than that, Anna.
I mean, what?
I thought you were way more hip and au courant.
Oh, I got really
On the Ritz.
I was still in my hometown. Then I moved to Vancouver, and I got super cool. I was a hairdresser in the 80s. I went to hairdressing school and worked.
No, I didn't know that.
Really? Yeah.
Oh.
I went to.
I went to hairdressing school too for a little while.
Wow.
Wow.
I did not. I did not.
I retained nothing. I went to school in London, England, at the Vidal Sassoon Academy
Oh,
in, on Queen Street in Mayfair.
in Mayfair, yeah.
Yeah, and it was beautiful. I loved it. It wasn't a whole long time, but I went. That's where I got my sort of super duper certificate. And we were on an artistic team. We would go to hair shows and be on stage and say,
Ooh.
"This is my model Dave, and what I'm going to be doing today with Dave is a graduated blah 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 blah." And you do that. It was terrifying and weird, and we had outfits that we would wear, and our hair was like gigantic. And
I need pictures of that. I want to see
Yeah,
pictures.
let me see the hair.
I'll dig out it's Throwback Thursday today. I'll bring out my.
There you go.
We had a photo shoot done of the artistic team, and we were all in our outfits. It was fantastic. So the most 80s thing I have in.
Oh, I want to see that.
It's great.
Absolutely.
And I look fat. No, I remember thinking I was. It's not sad.
Oh. I mean, back then, good Lord. And did you go to the A&W on Bronson, Lisa Gay?
No, but there was an A&W on Richmond Road, just down the street from us, and my sister actually worked there as a.
I was a car hop.
Yeah, my sister was a car hop
Rollerblade.
there too. Yes.
Yeah, on Bronson, I was the car hop
Oh.
with the rollerblades,
Yeah, my sister did it on Richmond Road. Yeah.
roller skates back then.
Tell
I
us
worked at Fat Albert's pizza place
Yeah.
for a while. Yeah, made pizzas and subs, and you could never go out afterwards because you smelled like pepperoni. You know that salami cold meat
Yeah.
smell,
Yeah.
and it permeated you, and you could never. Even if you finish Friday night at 10:00, you want to go to a party with your friends. You're like, no.
I used to bartend, and I smelled like beer.
Yeah.
It just smelled like that beer that's in the little mats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I started at the Red Barn.
Oh, on Carling Avenue.
No, the one on Bank Street.
Oh, we used to go to the one on Carling Avenue.
Yeah.
What was the Red Barn?
It was the
It
first
was-
McDonald's, basically.
Yeah, it was the forerunner to that. That and Royal Burger were kind of the forerunners to those things.
Okay.
And there were Red Barns in Toronto. I don't know about Calgary, but I know they were in Toronto. Yeah, that was the first place I worked, and then I of course did A&W and threw a chocolate milkshake on a guy 3 times. Not my fault, but ended up crying, and he gave me a $20 tip.
No.
We ran out of milkshake lids, and the manager said, just use the big drink lids upside down. So when we put the table on the car window, the guy turned around and went in his lap. I apologized, ran back in, said to the man, "Oh my God," got another one. He goes, "Be careful." Well, I'm trying to be careful. Went back, put it
She's
on the
on
window.
rollerblades, by the way, while she's doing this.
On
Right,
rollerblades,
right.
yeah. Put it on the window, and the whole thing just capsized. And it was like, oh my God. And I said, okay, I promise, I'm gonna bring it to you. I'm gonna clean it up. And I'm dabbing his lap, and I'm freaking out. And I go back in, I get the last one, and I hit, I don't know, a rock or something, and went right into his window, the whole tray. And that was it. Burst into tears and rollerbladed back inside and wouldn't go out again.
Was it rollerblades or roller skates?
Roller skates.
Skates.
Sorry, I would say blade, but yeah, back then they were skates with keys.
Did anybody ever drive away with their tray on?
Oh God, all the time.
My brother
All the time.
would do that on purpose until like we'd be little kids in the back.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. And he would drive and he'd be like, the tray. He'd do it up. And he would also change his window squirters so they were going like this so that it would spray the lady.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
It was his sister.
Yeah. Some of us, I don't think we're real ladies. We were just young kids.
do you remember Mother's Pizza Parlor, anybody?
Mothers.
Where?
It was in London, Ontario, and
Yeah, there was
Toronto too.
yeah,
Right?
and I worked there, and you used to have to take the lasagna. It was in a big one of those hot dishes. You're supposed to hold it with like paper towel or something, and take the spoon and scoop it around, and then you're supposed to slide it on to the
Ooh,
customer's plate. But this freaking thing is out of the oven. It's 500 degrees,
Oh.
and my friend did it. So she scooped it and she slid and she burnt her hand and she went like that, and it fell inside this lady's purse, which was open on the floor. The whole lasagna. And she didn't miss a beat. She said, I'm sorry, I didn't know you wanted to go. I would have put it in a container. We were dying. Oh my gosh.
In the restaurant, I had to do the shish kebab off the
Yeah.
Oh wow.
insist that I would do it, and I was like, I'm not good at it, and they're like, no, you can do it. It's part of the experience. And I would be shooting chickens, and they would go flying.
Oh. But there was a restaurant. It looked like castles. I forget what it was called. And you had to wear a long dress. A waitress. You're supposed to like.
Medieval one, medieval times.
Yeah. So, well, no, but it was like that. But they had done like the restaurant. The dining rooms were all different places inside the restaurant. So you had to go up 2 stairs or down 2 stairs.
Are you talking about IP Loonies?
It used to be IP, but it was called something else before that. It was a medieval something or other. We wore these long dresses. Which whoever thought long dresses while you're serving food is a good idea? I don't know.
Up and downstairs.
Up and downstairs, and you used to have those big round brown trays. I don't know if you remember. So
Oh
you
my
put it on
God,
your
yeah.
shoulder, and you'd have to go up the stair. And I had steak and lobsters, and baked potatoes, and I went up the stair, and I tripped on my dress. The tray hit the floor, and the lobster tail came shooting out across the hardwood floor like shh. Right across. Of course, it was the most expensive. Everything, everywhere. And I landed in the baked potato with my elbow in the baked potato. And I got a huge freaking blister on my elbow from landing in. So here I am in the baked potato with the dress, watching the tail, lobster tail shooting across the floor.
I didn't know they were paying for dinner and a show.
And a show. I was just face first on the floor. It was, I wish I could remember the name. It was over on Pinecrest and Iris. Right on the corner.
Oh, I know where you mean.
Yeah, and I forget what it was called, but anyway. And we wore these dresses, long black dresses with like a white bodice and like a little pussy sleeve, like we were some kind of
It was
wenches
a steakhouse. Yeah. It looked like a castle.
Yeah. So that wasn't good.
Those German lace-up.
Yeah.
Sternals. At the shish kebab place, but it wasn't a German restaurant, but the chef and the owner were a couple that were German, and they were cuckoo, and they would make me wear one of her old dirndls. And I remember her encouraging me, you get lift your chest and then tie it up so I was like, I don't have boobs yet.
Oh my God.
Great. Tie it tight. It was so
Serving dessert table side.
I used to sit in my dad's lap when he came for dinner. It's gross.
Oh, Mother's restaurant used to have to wear the white cap. Remember, like the little ruffle around it? Yeah, that's
Mother
I
Tucker.
can't imagine what I wore to make a living. I had the cap with
Mother
the thing.
Tucker.
I had the long dress. I had the filthy thing for the car wash, and I had to wear a white smocky thing for the Dairy Queen, like we were surgeons or something. I don't know what that was about.
Hey, we were in brown and orange at the A&W.
Yes, you were, and it was polyester. It was
It
styling.
was horrible. Okay. And you made sure no one came near you with a cigarette because you just turn into a ball of plastic.
Polyester black comedy pants that were like my comedy pants that I would take on the road because you could wash them in the sink and they would dry. You could hang them like over the back of your car.
On the antenna.
Right? And they always had a crease in them. You never had to iron them. They always look great, but you look like a waiter too because they were like waiter pants as well. You'd be getting ready to be introduced and someone would ask you for salsa And then you have to get salsa. And then you give them salsa, and then you go on stage, and you're like, ah.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah, my daughter's 21 and never had a job, so go figure.
How old were you at your first job?
10.
No.
Yeah, I delivered the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I was 10.
Right. I delivered the paper. I delivered the Toronto Star to Hell's Angels. They were on my route.
Ooh.
And they always tipped really well.
Yeah. Those are the best guests in my. I used to work in a bar in Hope, and that had the largest rifle collection in North America.
Wow.
Classy joint. I was the bartender on Sundays, and I was there by myself. And the people would come on their bikes, on their motorbikes, because it's a beautiful drive. So I would have it as soon as the bar opened, it would be like jammed with bikers, and they were the best tippers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I would run off my feet. I'd be by myself cooking burgers, pulling beer, and they would clap when I'd run. And they tipped like crazy. They're such good guys.
I think that's why we're all so nice to work with in comedy clubs, because we've all been waitresses.
Yes.
I was never a waitress. I was not coordinated enough, and
2 hours.
Yeah, true. So you have the shortest career.
Yeah, but I don't know if Judy, I don't think you were in Ottawa at that time, but there was a club in Hull. We all used to go to Hull because Hull was open till 3:00, and there was a club called Nouvelle Epoque on Montcalm, and it was a nice disco place that we went to a great deal. So much so that the owner one night said, "God, you should just work here." And I said, "Well, sure, okay." He said, "Really? You want?" I said, "Yeah, but only if I can work behind the bar." It's like, "Yeah, sure." I had so much fun that year. It was a riot working behind the bar and getting to see all my friends and getting tipped, because when they're your friends, you can make them feel guilty.
How many people did the bar fit?
There was an upstairs as well. So there was a couple of hundred. And there was an outdoor patio on the side.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go to the cabaret. Is it called the cabaret?
Was a church?
Or no, and Disco Viva.
Disco Viva in the church, the old church.
Yeah.
That was farther, deeper into Hull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I speak French, so I felt safe.
I can, but don't.
I didn't know you could speak French.
Who?
Elaine.
Uh-huh.
We?
I know.
Tu parles français?
You can.
Je parle seulement un peu.
What?
And
C'est très
only
bien.
with me. I can swear in German, Lebanese, a whole bunch of languages.
I'm impressed.
Oh, I don't think you need to be. But yeah,
I
lots
think
of us.
we need to do a tour, ladies, like the 3 Old Broad tour.
Ooh.
When this thing settles down,
I think
we'll do, menopause.
guard.
Have it sponsored by Depends. I can see.
I'd pay money to go see that.
I go on a tour, but I'm not calling it old sad lady tour.
Old, sad, and leaky. Yeah.
Old, sad, and leaky.
I said lady, but leaky is funnier. I'm feeling now, like in my 50s, I'm so not burdened by giving a shit. I'm not so motivated by pleasing everybody. We're all such people pleasers. And I'm getting good at saying no to things. And I'm like, just now, and I feel like I'm accelerating rather than slowing down.
They say seriously that menopause has something to do with that, with our hormones, that we sort of the estrogen going down or whatever, that we become more like men in that we're more easily, easy to say no and be stronger.
Yeah, I learned no is a complete sentence.
Well said.
True.
Well, you just look around the world right now, and they're actually some of them are in their 40s, but you look at some of the countries that are dealing best with coronavirus, and 6 of the top countries, they're female leaders. 4 of the 4 Scandinavian countries, or four of the Scandinavian, because Sweden isn't. I think Sweden is doing their own thing, but and yeah, Taiwan, New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern.
What about Donald?
She's amazing. What's that?
What about Donald? What about Donald? We're the best. We have the most intubator thing. We have the most testing. We are the best. We are number one in sickness. We are the best. We have the most deaths. We have the most cases of COVID-19. We are number one. We are number one in the world with disease. We're the best. Number one, America.
Shut down.
I never realized that someone could not manage to make a sentence that did not have some larger than life adjective in it, no matter what you're talking about.
Incredible.
You know, they're totally dead. They're totally dead, or they're incredibly sick. They can't just be, the noun. It's got to have some big adjective. Yeah, exactly.
China.
Oh, sorry. I should have done
China.
it. Yes.
China.
And
China. China. Hang on.
Yeah.
China. China. China.
Well, if that doesn't make you
Little
laugh,
hands.
I don't know what would. Yeah. It's like, well, my hands
Hand sanitizer after that.
Having a
So
shower.
just to round us back up here, I think you've given people lots to laugh with and about. I usually end my shows by getting my guests to give the audience a little something that they can take away for their personal life or their business. So how about a little something you can do to make yourself chuckle or have a good time and just take your mind away from all the craziness that's going on right now?
That's a big ask.
Start?
Well, I'll circle back to a question that I asked the girls in terms of comedy. I finally got a chance because I heard her on a podcast, Wanda Sykes, and it just reminded me of how funny Wanda Sykes is. So I finally got a chance to see her comedy special on Netflix, which it's a couple of years old now, but brilliant. Yeah. So on the comedy front, I would say that's definitely one way to survive is just keep laughing, surround yourself with people that make you laugh, watch something that makes you laugh. And I think just on a personal note, I think that really just trying to reach out and do one thing a day for somebody else. It takes your mind off of your stuff. It really does. I was lucky, if I can give these guys a pitch because they're just phenomenal, but there's a group in Toronto called City Street Outreach, and they feed Toronto's needy, Toronto's homeless. And, I thank them because they sort of got me out of thinking about me. And that really helps. So, and it doesn't have to be something on a grand scale. Send somebody an email, call somebody, whatever, but you just do that one little thing. It just helps you not focus on yourself so much.
That's good. Thank you, Judy.
A couple of things I'd like to add there. So one is turn off the TV, stop watching the news, because it just can make you absolutely crazy. And I know this sounds weird, but I'm kind of happy being home. First of all, I live in a nice house. We all have nice homes, so we live in. We've got food to eat. We're not bankrupt. Compared to some people, I think we're very, very, very lucky. But I'm on city council, neighborhood council, and I usually have 4 or 5 meetings a week. I'm so busy all the time. And about a month ago, I thought to myself, I just need a couple of days at home. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want a couple of days at home. And this whole Corona thing is probably my fault because I wished it. And now I have 4 weeks at home.
Way to go, Lisa.
So good manifesting.
I'm very powerful. And, I don't mind being home. I think it helps too. I've got the dogs and a cat. And I've got my big scrapbooking project. The yogurt is in line. I literally stay in my nightgown. I take a shower, put a fresh nightie on, and I mean, literally, I put a bra on today. I'm not kidding, just because I didn't want to scare anybody. But I'm just enjoying being home. I never get to be home. I'm always running somewhere, doing something, and unfortunately, you know, I know people who've died from the coronavirus, and so you just try to be positive and stay. I'm immune compromised, so I can't be around people who are sick. It could kill me. So that was a good upper there at the end, make a big laugh. But I'm just grateful that we live in countries that have doctors and hospitals and medicine, and my big thing is, because I have friends who've got CNN on and whatever 24/7. Turn it off.
I'm not one of those people.
Toby guy on. Put the Tiger on. Put 90 Day Fiance. Put Dave Chappelle. Put something fun on to watch. Turn off the news, because it plays over and over and over in your head. So that's my advice.
How about you, Anna? I'll go Zen. How's that?
This is when I yeah, I like that.
Oh, I like it.
This is always the part that I shift into comedy mode, and I'm like, jokey, joke. But seriously, been really connecting with people more so than I ever do. I had this I always think, I'm going to go for coffee with that person one day. I'm going to go for coffee. I'm finding people that I've known through social media, or just in like, women in comedy don't often get to work together because they only like one of us on the show at a time. So reaching out to my comedy buddies and just having conversations and making it, I think there's a extra layer of gravity to that when you reach out and it's private, because I see a lot of it seems like look what I did today to help the world, and look at, like, there's sometimes there's room for that, like, for sure, share all your good things that you're doing, and then once in a while do something that is not broadcast, like, it doesn't always have to be about I don't know how to say that. I just people, when I reach out privately to people and have a conversation, they're so grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't have to be huge. What's that saying? You don't have to be, what's the saying? And you can be the world for one person. The saying is, but you know what I'm saying? It can be something small for one person. And that is massive. It's massive. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be a big celebrity thing.
No.
Yeah,
I think that's being really grateful for everything we have. I mean, look at all of us sitting in homes with a roof and windows. I mean, I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
I lost my dad in January, and having him not have to go through this, because he wouldn't have made it this long. This was when it would have happened. And it's a weird thing to come to sort of normalize, is that I'm grateful that he left then, which is shitty because you want to have him longer, but man, this would have been hard.
Yeah.
And it's the same. I lost my dad at the end of October, and I was thinking the exact same thing this week.
Yeah.
Because he was quite ill, and I thought, this would have been, he would have been worried sick about my mother, and it would,
Yep. Yeah. And you wouldn't be able to get, I spent a week in the hospital with my dad, sleeping next to him, holding his hand, talking to him. Like, it was like a storybook, and this would have been a nightmare. So, so that was a real shift in my gratitude capacity.
Well, it does. It makes you thankful. It definitely makes you thankful for what you have. And what you were saying, Anna, you're absolutely right. It's not about banking every good thing you do.
Yeah.
That's not the point. And if you only do it so that you can bank it, then it's not worth it, as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. I am a big believer in suicide prevention and reaching out to anybody who's alone. Don't be alone. There's funny people out there who are willing to help. There are people on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and everywhere. You can always just send out a tweet or a post saying, I'd like to talk to someone. People are much more available these days, because we all know that, there is no normal. Okay? Normal doesn't exist. We all have our days, we all have our moments, and that's why I wanted to get you together to kind of give people an idea of you can just be, shooting the breeze with people and having fun and passing the time. And that in itself gives you some nice, dopamine and gets you going, gives you sort of a way to get through the rest of that day.
This is marvelous. Having face-to-face conversations with people I haven't seen, or like I'm more social now than I was when I was allowed outside.
It's true.
Yeah.
Really. Like, I don't have to drive. Judy lives like across town. Like,
I know. We'd never see each other.
yes.
Yeah. Well, I was 15 feet from you in October, but
Oh yeah.
we didn't.
I know. I'm
This
so
is all
sad.
done, ladies. We're going on tour.
For
Yeah,
sure.
let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's figure out a
I'd like to
name
be a
for it.
roadie.
Hey, you know what? On that social note, I will say, find out what time your neighborhood does the, ours
Pot
is
bang.
our neighborhood at 7:30 where they do the pot bang.
Yeah.
It's so empowering. I mean, it's for the healthcare workers, but for 2 minutes, I look at people that come out of their houses, and I know that everybody's going through their stuff, and you just kind of make eye contact with them, and it's just like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay,
Yeah.
and it's,
We just shoot our guns here, but that doesn't work.
Very nice. Maybe put a few coyotes out of their misery. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not nice. One thing I do want to say on that though, Judy, is we do that in Ottawa. It's Wednesday night at 6:30. That people scream and yell and bang the pots and what have you. But what I want to do is give a shout out to all those people that man your grocery stores. The people that are stuck in the gas station for you, the people that are doing jobs that we don't have to do, our garbage guys that came by today. Like, kudos to you. Thank you
Oh my gosh.
for keeping us going,
yeah.
in this time. And people don't stand up and cheer for them, but hey, let's do that because
Canada Post dealing with all.
Don't go that far, Judy. Don't go there. That's stepping over the line. Canada Post and Bell, they stay in their own lane. Stay in your own lane.
yeah.
You know what's wild
Sorry,
is,
we don't say the B word.
is making eye contact with people that are working in a grocery store, or like if you have to go in and you have to stay so far away and there's a plexiglass thing. If you make eye contact with them and say, how you doing? I've seen people they stop what they're doing and they're like, oh my God, someone gave a crap about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It was really, because people aren't treated well when people are panicked and scared and
I believe in saying hello to everybody. And it's really funny because you don't realize how difficult it is when you're wearing a mask. You're smiling and people might think you're slightly deranged or you're about to rampage because all they're seeing are eyes. It can be a little intimidating for people.
Hey, I almost forgot. I didn't get to share my mask with you guys. Hold on 2 seconds.
No, you did not. I love it.
You're a little wrinkly there, Judy. You need a little cream, eh?
I know. I
think I need some meat.
Yeah,
you need
A little Botox there.
Yeah, you need a little
hamburger
Botox
juice.
strip.
No, get your meat pack.
I'm never going to look at a meat pack again without thinking, oh, the Botox strip. I should maybe keep that.
It's like a meat panty liner.
Oh, I just had a
No
visual.
wings, though, right?
Oh, shoot.
Well,
Remember those, Lisa?
No, I don't. So I was at a play a few weeks ago, and this girl's in the bathroom, and she's like, "Does anybody have a tampon?" I went, "Oh, that ship has sailed, honey."
no, sorry, no womb at the end.
Hey, Elaine, we should thank you. Thank you for getting us together. I mean, we haven't seen each other for a while now, and it's just such a nice opportunity to share this sort of weird moment with three of my lifelong friends. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
thanks for
she
being
likes
one
me
of those-
best.
Oh, you know it's you, Lisa. You just know.
I have a picture of you, Judy, I found yesterday for the Halloween party. You were at my house, and you had a blonde wig that was about this high.
Oh,
So-
right. Yeah.
I put you in the scrapbook yesterday.
Oh, right.
Oh.
I was going to say too, Elaine, you're one of the people that are like the conduits for this connection too. Like this, no, we don't often reach out. Hey, let's go have a call online. It's a new world, kind of. So,
Well, yeah, it's
thanks for being that person.
for us three, because I've been having you and Judy do this since like 2013. 2013 is when I started having you guys come in here. You may not know, Lisa, but I got into video chats and what have you in 2011 and have been touting them ever since in every format known to man. And was lucky enough to run into Judy in 2013, and we kind of took it from there.
Yeah, the rest is history.
It always
Well,
takes
thank
somebody
you for
to start it,
having
though. Thank you for this.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. I absolutely loved having all of you. Thank you so much.
The commute was
And
beautiful.
the best of your today, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Thanks very much. Once again, it's Elaine Lindsay, the host of BBP TV, and we'll see you next time. In the meantime, take care.